It has been a week of turmoil at the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board, and it appears to center around a possible commutation hearing for convicted murderer Julius Jones. It's a story being closely followed by our content partners at the Frontier. And I spoke with reporter Ben Felder for details on this developing story.
So in 2002, Julius Jones was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. He was 19 at the time. And then nearly 20 years since, he has continued to maintain his innocence. Well, late last year, Jones's attorneys applied with the Pardon and Parole Board for a commutation hearing. Now, at the time, the board's executive director, Stephen Bickley, did not believe that a death row inmate was eligible for a commutation hearing. Well, he had called the governor's office to inform them of his belief, and an attorney for Governor Stitt said that his interpretation was that a death row inmate was eligible for a commutation hearing. But one of the Pardon and Parole Board's members, Alan McCall, who is a retired judge, disagreed with that opinion. And in June, he sent a series of what can kind of be described as threatening emails to Director Bickley, telling him that he was going to accuse him of unspecified criminal activity if he did not seek out a different opinion from the state attorney general. And there are multiple emails. I mean, McCall accuses Bickley of committing crimes. He says he's going to bring his allegations to a multi-county grand jury, which is controlled by the attorney general. He never says specifically what those crimes are, but it's fairly threatening language. A couple days after McCall sent this email to Bickley, Bickley asked the board for an extended leave of absence. He said that he was upset by McCall's accusations, and he felt like the best thing for him to do was just to step aside and kind of let the process work itself out. I think it'll be interesting to see what the response is from the Attorney General, from the governor, from lawmakers. Now, Governor Stitt's office told me that they are disturbed by the language that McCall used in his emails. Now, after a 5-year suspension, state officials announced this year that they were going to restart scheduling executions. And once death row inmates receive that scheduled execution date, then they can apply for clemency, which is kind of the last effort that they have, or last attempt they have to stop their execution. But whether or not death row inmates, including Jones, are eligible for a commutation hearing will be dependent on what the Attorney General says.
Ben expects Attorney General Hunter to announce his decision soon. And you can read his entire article online at www.readfrontier.org.